we can start this meetup. So welcome on in everyone to the first Slovenia Valorant Meetup. This month's theme is gonna be Is Valorant Just a Fling? So we're gonna talk about the future of Valorant, how it's gonna hold up in the future, especially with comparison from like CSGO. So first of all, I would like to invite our guest Lyrics to introduce himself. He's a captain of Dragon's esports Valorant team, so you can say something more about yourself.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So my name is Dejan. You know me as Lyrics. I come from Slovenia and I'm 20 years old. I started to play Valorant since beta, but you know, before I was starting in Valorant, practically I was playing CSGO because you know it's practically almost same game. Um, so I got like into this game because in CSGO I didn't see myself as competitor, and like if there is a new game you have to try it and try to do your best, and that was the game for me actually. So that's how I started.
If I'm not mistaken, it said that you also scouted for for your own Valorant team in Dragons.
Yeah, like in Dragons, like for the first time when I heard for Dragons, I didn't actually know anything about Dragons. I was like, nah, this team is not legit, probably. And but after that, like, I really got interested into the team. Like, I got accepted in through other captain, which he left, and then basically I was building a team, and like we didn't work out somehow, so we basically didn't have a team like for 2 or 3 months. But then practically I found some people in my own city, and like we have a great relationship. We're trying to build a great team spirit now, and like just try to have some practice and try to do something fresh and try to win a league.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see
Thank
you
you.
in the field. Yeah, I forgot to introduce myself. I completely forgot. I'm Jiva. Some know me as Zivas on my online username. I am an event manager at Reveris, and I'm one of the founders of Sneaky Foxes. The others are also around here. You can wave. Goran, Rok, and Anje down there that joined us. But yeah, I'm gonna start the first poll just to get to know who is here, in which level of esports you are, basically. So what describes you best? I did a similar poll before. I just like to know who is watching. So are you like a casual gamer? Are you someone who maybe helps with organizations of events, or is a commentator or something? Or are you actually employed in esports, so you get paid for esports and gaming? While we do this poll, I'm going to start us off with the first question already. So the first question is, since Valorant is quite a new game, a considerable part of its base players come from CSGO. So what do you think are the key factors that attract CSGO players? And what more can they get from Valorant that they cannot from CSGO?
Yeah, so you know, like like I said, the game is practically almost the same as CS:GO, like tactics and stuff like that. Even like bomb defusal is same in the CS:GO. So like you have to think almost the same in the CS:GO, but you know there is some things that CS:GO players don't know. So that is like in Overwatch they have abilities. So like abilities is only thing that keep CS:GO players away from like actually reaching that level. And yeah, that is actually one of the reason. But like for me as CS:GO player, I was actually, I don't know. That is a really great question, but I didn't do I didn't think
There's
a
no
lot. I
wrong
was just
answer,
like,
so
Yeah, but like the aim was practically almost the same because I felt it like the first time I came on the game I was like, holy shit, 50 frags. And like
Yeah, yeah.
I just banged that game. So like
Yeah,
I don't know, I just love it.
we had a similar thing happen to one of our captain of our CSGO team went to play Valorant with us for the first time, and we all, after the first few games where she got the rank, we already couldn't play with each other anymore because she got ranked so high. So you can get a lot of skills from CSGO into Valorant. There's just this, like you said, this main difference of learning to use abilities to your advantage that CSGO doesn't have, and I think that a big part, because I think a lot of people are like um, fighting with each other, which is better or whatever. Is also a lot of people don't like the fact that Valorant is more like cartoony, more colorful, more like cartoon styled. I personally prefer that to Counter Strike because Counter Strike is more realistic. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of complainings about Valorant being a lot of childhood game, like because of cartoon stuff, and people actually don't play it because of the
Yeah.
graphics and stuff. But if Valorant do something about this in the future, I think this could increase players
Mm.
in this game.
But
Uh,
it's
yeah, that's it.
but it's interesting to me because, for example, if we compare it a bit to Fortnite, right? Fortnite
Uh,
is really really cartoony, right? It was aimed towards children and younger audiences. But Valorant is still 16 plus, right? Like officially, of course, you still get kids playing, but officially, it's still a 16 plus game because you still like shoot someone and they die. Because in Fortnite, everything is made a lot more like, oh, you shoot someone and they explode in confetti and loot. They don't die. They're just sleeping, right? So I still think that Valorant is quite a bit more realistic than for example, Fortnite. It's just has that stylized look to it. I don't know.
I mean, you cannot jump shot like in real life.
Yeah.
Like in the Fortnite, you can do 360 and do stuff. Like in the real life, you could get injuries.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show the results of the first poll. Just a second. So there's 50% of you are actually working somehow in esports, not employed, but somehow helping as like volunteers or something similar, which is nice to see. Because that's what I think we need to progress our esports scene a bit further. Okay, so let me move on. So I have a bit of a provocative question, right? I mean, we already touched this subject before, so um, I wanted to ask, since it's so similar to CS:GO, right? What do you think is harder? Like, do you think CS:GO is harder to play or Valorant? And we're talking about playing and ranking, because that can be different sometimes.
Yeah, I think right now for me, because I left CS:GO, I would say CS:GO is harder because
Mm-hmm.
I got confident with Valorant now, and but you know it's like 50-50 for me because I am still learning about abilities and stuff, which I really don't understand somehow. With this new agent incoming, I'm really like
Yeah.
what, and yeah, I'm just keep learning and trying to figure out stuff about new agents. And I think right now, if I have to choose, I think Valorant is harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that a lot of people say that Counter Strike is still harder. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I think they're like similar. The only real difference is that in like if in Valorant, it's usually good to know to learn how to play like multiple agents. Like I don't know, so you know a smoker, you know a healer, you know a duelist, so you can be flexible. And it maybe just takes longer because of all those abilities and different agents. It might take longer to learn, but I wouldn't say maybe that it's harder. It just takes a bit longer to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna shoot you guys another poll real quick since we already were on this question. So I was actually wondering similar questions about you, everyone else joining us here. So the first question is if you started with Valorant or did you play other similar games before? So is your first time doing a first person shooter like Valorant? Is it Counter-Strike, or if you still play Counter-Strike, or other FPSs like Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever? Or none, you might have just joined because you're curious. And the second one is what we just asked. So in your personal opinion, which game do you think it's harder, Valorant or Counter-Strike? I'm gonna leave this poll on a little bit while we move on to the next question. So how much do you think that of the current player base is just like the initial hype that the game gets, like in Overwatch, for example, and how many people are here to stay? Because we all know what happened to Overwatch. Like, I mean, it still has a lot of players, but it started dropping down, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it's still a new game. Like, you know, right now, I think like amount of players are rising,
Mhm.
and I hope it stays like that. Because there is some new stuff that Valorant will include in this game, and I'm really like excited for that. And like I said, if they're gonna add like really something realistic to this game, the players will be more interested in this game. So like better graphic, more players.
Yeah. Although let's be honest, it's the same as with Counter-Strike. You just put the graphics on the low setting because it's easier.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
have
better
bad PC,
graphics.
so I have bad PC, so it doesn't mind. I mean, like I don't
Because I
care if I have
remember some
low
of my
high.
friends were arguing with me. I mean, back in the day when I still played Counter Strike, they were like making fun of me because I used high graphics. That never happened to me before, because in CSGO it's so much easier when you have lower graphics because you can like see the pixels.
Yeah,
You
but
know where to
you can
shoot.
actually take advantage. You can take
Yes,
advantage
exactly.
of shadows, and like if you have like even bigger screen, you have a bigger advantage. And like
Yeah.
in gaming,
Then you
like
have
monitors are really advantage.
I always laugh when I watch like competitive or pro players when you have like these big leagues and stuff, and they show the players like sitting at home, and they always have like a computer right in front of their face, like
Yeah.
almost climbing into the computer. um yes, okay, so I lost my train of thought. I wanted to ask you something else considering this question, but I forgot. If I remember, I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay.
For now, we're gonna move on. So, oh yeah, I remember. I wanted to show the poll. There we go. So most of you have played other FPS games before, so not Counter Strike and not Valorant. And most actually think that Valorant is harder than Counter Strike, which I understand because it has basically the added abilities to the already complex game that is Counter Strike, with all the strategies and stuff. And I think also once we're on this topic, right? Like the actual strategies get harder as well because instead of just being like, oh, having you just have an A and B, for example, site to plant and or diffuse, you now have like Omen teleporting across the map and a Raze like flying with a grenade launcher across mid, right?
Yeah, like a lot of stuff is like confusing, especially now with this new TP guy, Euro.
You know,
He
yes.
like he's just abusive. Like those flashes just cannot be destroyed, and like that's TP. I mean, okay, TP is like not that OP, but those flashes are really.
Yeah, and then they use the combo, right? They
Yeah,
flash and teleport, so you don't know where they teleported to.
exactly.
Okay, so now looking at what we discussed, like right now. So, what do you think are the advantages of Valorant? Like when you think about other games as well, like what are the advantages and if they're enough to keep the Valorant going?
I mean, advantages Valorant is like I don't know, like for me, it's just like easier to aim. For example, like I don't know, like spray control for me is so much easier than in CS:GO. Like when I go to CS:GO, my aim goes left and right, but like
Yeah.
when I shoot in Valorant, it just goes straight in the head.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm a god in the Valorant, but like when I go to CS:GO, hell no.
I
Like
mean,
it's
yeah, of
different.
course, you have like even though the guns are very similar, they're still different and they have different spray patterns, and you still have to learn those patterns. And I also remember like how I know a lot of times competitive players will tell me like, "Oh yeah, I spent like 3 hours throwing grenades on this and that map in CS:GO, right? Just to get the lineup straight." And then I remember like I don't know, in Valorant you have like Sova or some agent, and you also do the same thing just with his darts, right? Just go
Yeah.
into a custom game and for 3 hours just try to shoot that spot on the map correctly.
Yeah. I mean, if you can control Sova, it's pretty annoying. Like in my rank right now, it's annoying because people
Yeah.
know the setup, and it's just annoying when they reveal you.
I see that Rok also mentioned in the chat next to us for the second question in the poll about which game is harder, that he's missing Call of Duty and Rainbow Six Siege. Which, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Call of Duty is much harder. It's just a different kind of shooter. Like in Call of Duty, you can like run and gun and just like go crazy, and in Counter Strike, you have to be more careful about it. But Rainbow Six Siege, definitely. Rainbow Six Siege, I never tried to play it myself because I am so scared to try it. Because there's so many things you need to learn, so much more than in Valorant and like Counter Strike combined. So I definitely agree with Rainbow Six Siege.
I mean, I tried Rainbow Six Siege, man. It didn't go well. I was moving like a bot. I was like, what should I watch? Because there are like those drones on the floor that you
Yes.
have to destroy. And I was
Yeah.
like, what can I hear? What do I do? Like I didn't understand the game.
And I feel like there's so many more like, Valorant and CS:GO maps. That's just what I think because I never tried playing it myself. I just watched other people play it. But in CS:GO and Valorant, I feel like the maps are normally made so you have like a couple of like peak points that you can peak like gradually. And when I watch maps on Rainbow Six Siege, they're just like you just run in and just pray that you don't
Yeah,
die.
exactly. I mean, it's same in Valorant. You can run and headshot. Like I had some couple of games that like people are just running and doing headshots. Like they still didn't fix that, and I hope they will in the future.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
just
Valorant is a really new game, so they still have a lot of issues they have to fix, right? So one of them is like the running gunning that has way too much accuracy,
yeah,
or like when you jump or something like that. Also the zip lines, right? The zip lines are
yeah.
awful in Icebox, and just generally the ranking system.
I
Although
mean, for me, ranking system is not like that hard because like I got plat 3 in this new season. Like that's probably the highest rank you got. And then like with my team, we got into the competitive and like we're just playing normally, winning the games. And like for us, like competitive is same as it was like, but we're still mad because we were like diamond 3 and immortal, and now we got
yeah,
plats.
yeah, but it's also like we've been a little bit talking before we started this meetup about, you said it yourself, how hard it is to rank when you're a lower rank, not because you would be bad or anything, just because there's currently such a big problem with smurfs that you go play in, like, for example, we are silver rank. You go play a silver rank and you get like a smurf that's in reality like an immortal, and you just can't do anything. Like the game is basically just lost.
Yeah, that was actually in beta. If anyone played beta, like it was like you stuck in gold because there are so many good players stuck in gold and like you just couldn't get out of the gold. I was actually gold 2 in beta and I just couldn't get out.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was in beta, so I played Viper, so I definitely wasn't high up. Okay, and one more thing that I wanted to ask you um, is there something you already touched the subject actually of this last question? If there is something that Valorant can do differently to maybe either stay as it is right now or become bigger, there, like during the time you already mentioned, like maybe adding some more realism to it, right? Do you have anything
Yeah.
else or just that?
I mean, it's practically just that, and like they have to like do like this classic is still broken after the update. They said they're gonna fix the classic, and the right click is still OP. You can abuse it still, and
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's developing. Like, I'm really happy with this new update that they made, and I hope that in future that it will be more excited update. So that is what is keeping me up.
Yeah. I mean, they are constantly releasing new patches, so hopefully. And I wanted
Yeah.
to. This is more of a personal question. I mean, personal from me. Not. It's not written down, but it's from me. Do you think Valorant could ever surpass Counter Strike base, or at least live as long as Counter Strike is? Because Counter Strike is still big after so many years, right?
Yeah, actually, it's 100% because like this game actually just got like out last year and it's already an esport and
Mm.
it's huge by the numbers already. Like I think it could get up to CSGO and get even higher. So Valorant is like successful game, I think.
Yeah, and if they keep adding things, because they keep adding, adding new maps, adding new agents and stuff like that. Because, for example, Counter Strike recently got the first update in like I think it was 8 years or something like that. Like it got a new like mission or something. I don't know. I'm not that into Counter Strike anymore, so I'm not
New
that
battle
up to date.
pass.
You battle pass. That's right. Yeah, after like 8-ish years. So maybe if Valorant keeps this going, keeps new. Maybe I even think that Counter Strike might have done the new battle pass because they were a bit afraid of Valorant. Like they wanted to make something new, do something new because Valorant came out as well.
I mean, like Counter Strike didn't surprise me to add the Battle Pass because it was already in Fortnite. So, like,
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised about getting Battle Pass into the other games.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like, people can have skins and like they can like get free cases, and for
Yeah.
that money that you get, it's pretty good.
You can basically get pretty good things for only putting basically a little bit of money in it
Yeah,
instead
and
of
that's
paying a
basically
lot
what's
for
worth
a
it.
single skin.
Exactly.
Okay, so Tom also wants to know from the chat, how could you tell a bit more about what does it mean that you scout for Valorant players?
Um, Scout. Wait, I have to like think right now what is Scout actually.
Like you're
Even by
looking for new
search.
players, right?
Yeah. Okay. I was like, you know, in Slovenia there are not like many players who are actually in high ranked and who are not like actually trying to focus on really to try to be an esport players.
Mm.
But I don't know. I was like searching for 3 months and didn't get nothing, no details. But I was like hoping, okay, I have to find platinum. So I was
Mm.
like, okay, let's go find platinums. And you know, I couldn't find really a lot of guys. So like I was just, we have to find some lower ranks and try it out. And here we are now. Actually, we are really friends, and like we came from
Yeah.
same city, and like you know, I'm actually happy that I found some guys actually from Slovenia and from same city that are in my level. So,
Yeah.
but I think if people are trying to search for players in Slovenia, it's really hard
Mm.
because there are actually like, I don't know, maybe like 5, 6 teams that are actually Diamond Plus, and I hope that there will be new players from Counter Strike soon,
Yeah.
and we're gonna enjoy watching more ranked in Slovenia for higher levels.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think it's better that you just have a chemistry with someone, that you're like friends with them, even if maybe they're not as high of a rank as you would want them to be. It's still maybe easier to like work with them and get a higher rank with them, like rank with them, than having like someone that you don't connect with, and they might be radiant, but you don't want them in the team.
Yeah, because sometimes you just have that feeling like, nah, he's not for the team, and like you just have to like find a connection with people, and then actually do something about it. Because first it's if you're like really in the team, and like the first is a conversation. You have to talk to your team all the time,
Hmm.
and like you have to really be positive and be more friendly. If you have toxic team, then that will not go good, because if you're like angry on a teammate, then there is no practice, there is no, you know nothing is going to be good if toxicity will go on.
I can see Goran laughing because I always rage in our team.
Well, yeah, I was just wanted to say that Jiva can really be toxic in game, but she's developing now. She's getting better.
And I'm only toxic when we're playing, not when we're leading the team.
Yeah, only
I
in Valorant. So I think that maybe she could try in some Minecraft or something like that now.
I'm gonna play some Stardew Valley to relax me.
Yeah, or
I
some
mean, if
indie games that are meant to relax you.
I mean, if we're being honest right now, everybody have some toxic level in themselves. So, yeah, like we just have to like know how to control our anger and try to develop whatever.
Develop,
Yeah,
yeah.
at the end of the
Yeah.
day,
Oh
still
my
need to
gosh.
remember that it's only a game that you play,
Yeah,
that
you
is
have to
supposed to
like
be
learn
fun in
from
the first place.
yeah, you have to learn from losses, and like if you lose a game, you learn from that, and like if you win, you don't get like if you practice against like, I don't know, the lower ranks, you don't get nothing. But if you practice against high ranks like Radiants, even if you lose 13-0, you like get something into your head what you have to improve, and like you just have to be calm and be ready for improvement.
That's true. Yeah.
Thanks for answering my question. I have two follow-up questions actually. You said you're searching for players for some time and there is not many here around. Were you limiting yourself only to Slovenia, and why so?
So yeah, like I was like basically searching around, because like when we go to LAN parties, it's much easier if you like have teammates being closer to you, and like I had some people already that were interested in the team, but I was like, oh, these people are actually from my city, and I was like ready to admit that if we're getting closer, we can succeed, and I didn't think about any other players, but about these players, because I really think we can succeed. But right now, this is our first year. I hope we get at least top three, and we I hope we develop in future.
Hmm.
How many players? You said you found some players and then you were kind of trying out if they are good or not? How many did you try before you settled for the team?
I mean, we didn't get much requests because there are not a lot of players that are interested to play competitively. But I think around of 6-7 people that I try out.
Okay.
But like around 5 people I didn't try out because like I knew already how they play because I already played with competitive with them, so like I didn't like use the tryout situation. So actually 12 people in total.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if they're friends, you're usually already playing with them as it is, and you know how they play, and like if they're good enough, and all this stuff. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions in the audience? Speak up or forever hold your breath.
Do you use any coach for your team, or are you coaching yourself, the team?
No, right now we don't have any coach, but in the future I think we would get a coach. But right now we are trying to like learn from our own experience and try to manage ourselves like one by one. Like when we finish the game, we actually try to analyze that game, what we did wrong, and try to improve it in the next game. That's how we do it right now before we're getting coach.
It's
And
probably
how?
also. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Continue.
How do you mentally prepare for the games? Because if you really want to be good in these games, you need to have a solid mental state, and the winning mentality needs to be all the time present.
I mean, like when I have a good game, when I have a good day, I actually like just play and try to like, be mentally just there. Like I don't care if I win, I don't care if I lose. But if I have a really bad day and I'm really pissed off, I just go out and run around the house three times around the house and just go in and like try to chill out myself in McDonald's. That's what keeping me on.
Okay, nice one. Run around the house. Well, in these times, we can't go far from home, so maybe running around the house is the only thing we have.
Yeah.
Maybe on this note that Goran asked, you said you analyze your games, you look and discuss. How much time you spend actually playing? How much time you spend analyzing? And do you use any tools, or is it just looking at the replays and brainstorming? How does this look like? What does it mean analyzing?
I mean, like I'm playing actually like from morning and until night. So actually I'm playing like almost 24 hours. Like it's mind blowing, but actually like we're analyzing like when we finish the game, we like we're not trying to be toxic to each other, but like we're like like if somebody did wrong, we have to tell him what he did wrong, and then if I did something wrong, he will tell me what I did wrong, and like we're trying to be positive and like tell your teammate what he did wrong, like and he will try to improve it. Like we're just talking and talking. That's how we analyze our games.
You basically coach each other.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're trying to do our best, like like for example for the retakes, like when we do the fake info and stuff, we're like, oh shit, and like we have to like try to like, I don't know, the read, if you can read the enemies, and like sometimes it's just bad to give fake info and then just your teammate is like and then after the game, I mean, for us fake info is really a terrible choice right now, so we're trying to improve that. But it's not like 4 or 5 weeks that we're together, and like we're still trying to know better each other. Like when we get comfortable enough, we're gonna like, you know, it's easier to rush, it's easier to defend if you like know what is your teammate holding, and if you like trust your teammate. And but on the start of the team is always like, you know, you cannot trust him because it's a new player. And but when you know each other, that's really good. You're comfortable, he's comfortable, and like whole team can reach another level.
Yeah.
So actually, to analyze good the game, you need to have deep knowledge about the game and the mechanics and everything. Because I know that we are casual players, and if we would start analyzing ourselves, we would probably not analyze ourselves in a proper
We would
way.
not go far.
So I think that need to be really good knowledge about the game and the game sense. Because we usually just when we do some mistakes, we actually don't know that they are mistakes.
Yeah, we recently played with Ho, right? He's a bit better player than we are. And at some point he got so frustrated with us because we were doing like so many like rookie mistakes that he wasn't used to in his like on his level, and he was like, how were you not looking there? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where to look.
Yeah, I understand that. I was already there. And but you like for us who are higher levels, we have to like understand this that the lower ranks are still learning about the game, and like they're trying their best. So if they're trying their best, it's okay. Like until you're trying your best, just keep enjoying the game.
No, he's nice. I'm not trying to make him look bad. He's actually a really nice guy. It was just funny when he got frustrated a bit with us.
Yeah, and at the end we were even more confused than we were before. So
I mean,
I-
like if you know, like you can know what you did wrong. Like when you like, for example, if you have a bad aim, you know you have to improve that. So like you have to go like, for example, I did like 4 or 5 rounds in the practice room. Like for every single each of the gun, I did 5 rounds. And like you can get comfortable with flicks. Like this game is a lot about flicks and like you know, aim control. So you just have to like know how this aim goes. And when you realize how the spray control works, then you got this game working.
I have like 2 questions for you. Quick ones. Favorite agent and favorite gun. So what do you main?
Right now I main Killjoy, but in the
Yes.
past, in the past, I was maining Sage, but my team wanted me to play say Killjoy because Sage doesn't fit in our team, so
Yeah.
I had to main Killjoy now. But my favorite weapon is Vandal.
Yes.
because
surprise.
because I have a good skin for a Vandal, you know.
Do you have the dragon lore?
Yeah, I buy it.
See, that's another thing that I think it's like a bit better done than in CSGO is the skins. Because in CSGO, you just have like the same gun that's basically just painted differently. Well, in Valorant, you literally get a different gun, like it's a different model. Like we were talking about, dragon lore is for those who don't know, is a literal dragon that shoots out like bullets. So you actually have a dragon in your hands.
I mean, like it's. I mean, if like player have that skin like dragon, you know, like for me, for example, I was having like first Vandal default, like I didn't know how to shoot, but now, like, I think like skins have some advantage in this game as well. Like you like have a better aim when you have like better skin. Like I don't know, for my
I
opinion,
always-
like skins make me better.
Yeah, it's like I always think that the Prime Vandal makes me better because it's like it has like these smooth bullets because they're like lasers, and I always feel like I'm shooting better with that skin than with the normal one. But
Angel wrote in the comments.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it.
Odin, let's go. So I have a question. How is with Odin in high tier? Because in silver you just get bullied by the Odin.
Yeah, it's basically a troll weapon, right?
I mean, on a sand map, Odin is really overpowered. If you know how to, like, on a defender B side, that's just overpowered. If you use Sava and use the reveal, that's just 3 kills.
And then just through the wall.
Yeah, exactly. So like Odin is practically really good gun if you know how to control it.
And also, Rook asked, whenever you're scouting, what are you looking in the possible players? Like, what are you looking for in the possible players?
Well, first of all, I'm looking for like people who are not like that negative. Like I'm looking only for positive people. Like that they're not going to be quitters and stuff. I'm like looking for people who are trying to learn something from their losing games and like who doesn't care about like really, you know, just about winning. It's all about improving, and I was like just making sure everybody was known to before they actually tried out. So I actually just said to them that like if you're trying to try out, make sure that you know if you join this team that we are trying to improve with even losing or winning. So you have to be ready for everything.
So you mainly basically look for like the right mentality. You
Exactly.
put this over the skill. Like,
yeah,
obviously they have to have at least some skill, right? But
yeah.
okay, thank you for the answer. Does anyone else have another question?
Yeah, I think that we are looking in the game in the same aspect. We also look for the positive people, but they don't need to have skill. So
yeah, I mean, we are focusing. We are our group is focusing on average players, so we are not looking for skill at all. We're just looking for people who enjoy playing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's good as well, you know. Like you're actually like trying to uh achieve bigger community in this game, and that's good as well. So everything is plus if you like try something.
They're preparing the hunting ground for you as a scout.
Yeah. Someday.
Yeah.
Or the coach.
Or the coach, yeah, exactly. I have, you intrigued me before when you joked a little bit around that you play 24 hours a day, but I have a serious question out of this. Is it better to play, let's say, 16 hours a day, playing whatever, or playing 8 hours smartly and using the remaining 8 hours reading about the stuff, reading about the stats, looking at videos, your own videos on web? Maybe for a beginner, what would be some meaningful, let's say, ratio between one and the other? And what about you now?
I mean, from my opinion, I think it's better that you play 8 hours because there is a lot of important that you get a lot of rest, because rest is really important that you're confident when you wake up, and like you have to live a normal life as well, because I think that is really important because you lose your focus if you play 24 hours. And like for me, like I can handle this because I'm doing this like over 10 years right now, and like, you know, I'm like trying to enjoy my life, but games are keeping me happy, and so I'm just being 24 hours into it.
I have another question for you. As a father, how does your parents look at you playing all the day?
I mean, they are really mad because I'm just finishing school right now, and they were like, "Are you going to finish the school, or are you gonna fail it?" And like, I was like, "I gonna make school. I gonna make school. Just let me play. Just let me play." And I was like, always, I didn't listen to my parents a lot because they're not supportive a lot. But I'm trying to keep my head into the game, like, because I really don't have a lot of support behind it from my family, but. I think someday I will prove them wrong.
Yeah, I mean, from my own personal experience, I'm not a competitive player, but I'm a streamer, and I had the same issues when I was younger until I started like actually earning from streaming, and then all of a sudden it was why didn't you do that earlier, you know? So
Yeah, well, there's still a big gap between the generations. I think we that are coming now as parents, we will be more understandable to this because we used the games when we were young, and we're using still now when we're not so young. So I think that gap will close sooner or later.
we'll be the generation of parents that know that you cannot pause an online game.
Yeah.
I might have one more small question for you, Lyrics. So when you start playing Valorant, what gun was the hardest for you to learn to play? Was it like Vandal, Phantom, Spectre?
Uh, that's a good question. Um, I think for me it was RS. RS is really the gun that I don't use a lot because the bullet just go around and I still don't know how to use it. But I think this gun is the hardest to control for me right now.
And for people that just start playing Valorant, right? What gun would you suggest for them to start using? Like, which one would be the best for them to start learning and go from there to better ones?
I mean, if we go from rifles, like rifles really doesn't matter because like I mean, Phantom does have like that advantage on close range that you can spray them down easier than Vandal, but Vandal is like doing more damage. So on long range, you can actually one tap then, but if you're using Phantom, you're doing like 140 damage, I think, and like if they're trying like to do the close plays, the close plays, they should use Phantom, but if they're trying to be a long range players, they should use Vandal.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, I when you mentioned that Ares is the hardest to learn, I used to always play Ares, like when I didn't have enough for a rifle, obviously, right?
yeah.
For a while I was, because like everyone always plays Spectre, right? When you don't have, like when you have to do an SMG or something instead of a rifle. I always just bought Ares. And it's just I main Reyna, so I just, you just throw an eye and hope for the best.
I mean, it's
Just spray
cheaper
it.
than Odin.
Yeah. What about, I'm actually interested, once we're already on the topic of guns, what do you think about not Spectre, Stinger?
Oh yeah, there is Stinger is actually popular. Like when you're holding and defending, it's really popular because like you just have to hold the angle and just like be ready for the push, and like Stinger is really OP on close range. But if you go like on the long range, you just have to like burst it down. You just don't have to spray, but you just have to burst on the
Yeah,
gun.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because we joke a lot about Stingers. When there's not enough money, we all just buy Stingers and just go. Okay, is there any other questions in the audience? We had some good questions today. I rest my case, Rock, yes. Is that it? Okay. So then I'm gonna slowly finish up for today. So we discussed mostly about just what Valorant is and what Valorant could be in the future. we do think that it's gonna stick. We're gonna see if it sticks as much as CSGO, but or as long as CSGO. But we definitely think it's gonna like stay at least for a while because it's become so popular so quick, and it's already such a big esport game. Otherwise, thank you all for joining us. I'm gonna drop a few links in there. The first one is for your feedback, a little Google Forms. You can suggest other topics, other speakers, whatever you want. Here is a meetup group for those who use the meetup website. If you want to learn more about our next meetups that might be coming up, you can follow us on our Facebook page. We always post everything there. And also, we have a Slack channel where we debate what we've learned basically on these meetups. We can continue the discussion in the Slack channel if that's something that you would like. I also would like to first announce there's still a lot of meetups planned. So next one is on 21st. So this is, I think, this Thursday, yes, is the esports and gaming meetup. On the 26th, there's a women in gaming meetup. And then on 29th, there's a League of Legends meetup. And everything else will be announced later. So thank you, Lyrics, for joining us and for your input. I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Yes, no problem. And thank you for everyone who joined us today. We hope we can do that again next month, so in February. And we'll be happy to see you again.